yet to another episode of So Friends, where I, Sofia Sion, and my new guest talk about everything that you need to hear, from mental health to productivity and motivation. We cover it all. So, before we get into this week's episode, and before I actually introduce my guest, I have a question for you, Nadica. So tell me one story about law of attraction, like the most interesting story. How did it affect your life? Like what happened?
Well, since I was a kid, I had intuition to work on myself or on the things that I want to achieve, and I don't know, I like. And when I grew up, let's say when I attended university and became a student, I started to ask my grandma about things that happened in her life because I found that we're so similar, let's say. And she started to tell me these stories about law of attraction, and I got like, it was super catchy for me, and I wanted to learn more, like learn more. And she's an amazing woman. Let's say that she's 78, 79 years old. uh
Damn.
yes, she knows English so well that we get to the point that we cousins, that are four of us, cannot speak English and tell our secrets in front of her because she's like, I know this. I understand this. I understand that. And you're like, Grandma, I'm sorry. And right now, I cannot talk about my crush, my problems, or the girly stuff in front of her. And when she was like 72, 73 years old, she was like, okay, I'm so bored in my life, so I want to do something new. Can you please tell me the German course? And I want to learn German language. And I was like,
Why German though?
yeah, like you're 72 years old. Like, why? Because we consider everything above 65 that is old, like, the Balkan thing, and you're old, your life is like still here, what you did, and all that stuff. And she's like, well, you never know, when do you need the German language? And I was like, damn, okay.
But like life is too short to learn German, man. Like why the fuck
Well,
German?
not for her, not for her. Probably she's thinking to live another 70 years.
That's long. That's long even for me, man.
Definitely.
Oh my god. Nice. Cool story.
Yeah.
So
And
um
yeah, she hooked me up on this thing.
so what do you think, what is law of attraction for you? How do you define it?
Well, for me, um, let's say that I see law of attraction as an energy that you're giving to the universe,
Mhm.
and the same energy the universe is giving to you. So I'm sending one positive thought, and I'm receiving the positive thought from the universe. And I'm
Cool.
saying that if you're thinking positive, you cannot expect to happen bad things in your life. But if you want this like 100%, you cannot say like, okay, I want to have money, but you're just thinking about the idea of having money, but not working on the idea to have
Get
money.
money, yeah.
Or I'm just thinking about, okay, I want to be happy, but I'm not wanting, like, uh, I'm just thinking, I'm not working on the thing to be happy.
Yeah. That would be like I see it as maybe of like, okay, I want $1 million by tomorrow. And just
Yes,
and the universe is like,
exactly.
bitch, you crazy?
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Nice. So
And what about you? What is
dude,
law of attraction for you?
I mean, I guess I would define it the same way. Like law of attraction is probably what you think that is going to happen, but that is not necessarily good things. Like it can be some bad things as well. Like you're gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna pass this test, this test is too hard. Bam, you freaking failed that bitch.
Exactly, exactly.
That's definitely
Exactly.
one way. Like how did it affect your life?
In crazy way. Definitely in crazy way.
Do tell.
Well, I have couple of stories to tell, let's say. Uh, First of all, every colleague knows that I'm a hardworking girl, lady, or whatever.
Hmm.
And when I want something, this sounds so cliche, but I'm going to get that thing.
Ooh.
So,
Ooh.
for example, in my university, we are like on credit system and we collect credits to pass the year. So, for
Hmm.
example, if you do not have enough credits, you
You
cannot
can't pass
attend
the year, yeah. It's the same
semester or
system
the.
here as well, yeah.
And the thing is that I'm hardworking student, but I do not like to study something that I don't want or I'm not interested. And
Hmm.
I get this problem that I can learn that things, but I can forget really easily. And every year I have the same problem that I'm running with the time and to collect this credit. And
Yeah.
every time I'm like, okay, next September, I'm gonna be in my next year. However, it seems impossible for me because everyone around me are like, Nadica, you're crazy. You need like a big amount of credits to pass the
The year,
exams that
yeah.
pass the year. And I'm like, okay, you're gonna see. I believe in me. I'm working on that, and the universe will give it to me. And this year, I was like total mess with the university, and I had to pass everything, like everything. And that was mission impossible, let's say.
I mean, I can imagine like passing all of your exams and like not having a single yeesh, dude. So what
And
happened?
later, boom, Corona.
Law of attraction, baby. There you go.
Because I was, this sounds so silly and so stupid, but I was like, please, universe, please, God, like, please, whoever you're above me,
Thanks,
I'm
Nadica.
sending this.
Thank you for this.
I really want, like, I really, really, really want to be in my next year, next semester. Uh, I'm gonna give 100% out of me, but please give me the right path. And because I'm living in the university town, my roommate always tell me like I'm like a joke to them. They're like on everyone. The corona has the bad thing, the bad vibe, except you. You're the most luckiest and the happiest girl on the planet. Because corona did everything right for you. And I'm like, thank you.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. What like how did the law of attraction and corona like affect your studies the most? Like
Uh, okay, so I don't like the corona either, but
no one
the
does.
corona gave me so many opportunity to work on my odds of on me and myself, and
Hmm.
like to stop the time in the world, let's say. And I don't know if this is coincidence or not, but I was like every night before I go to sleep, I'm like, please God, please universe, make something to happen. I really want to be in the next semester, but not to happen in with the world. I mean, to happen something with me. For example, I have really bad sleeping schedule, like to give me the motivation to wake up at 5 or something like that, or to study more, or to be more focused on the
Mhm.
things that I'm learning. Or I don't know, the finances that you cannot imagine, and I think that most of us are trying to find their way to study or to manifest something. And I
Definitely.
was thinking about that. And the Corona time happened like a really, really, really like coincidence. And I don't know, me and my friends are like, okay, you were calling for Corona.
Yeah, thank you for ruining my Erasmus experience. Like, you ruined my student exchange.
You're welcome.
I mean, actually, like, I have a similar story because while I was in Portugal on my Erasmus, like, there was a very strict rule that you had to go to Portuguese class. Like, you had to. You could not miss it. The fun fact is that Tuesday and Thursday were days when you had student parties. Like, those were student nights, and like, we're Erasmus. Like, we're gonna get batshit fucking crazy, man. And Thursdays and Tuesdays morning, it was Portuguese class at 9 in the morning. So imagine that, like, after a whole freaking night of partying, you have to show up every week to class, and you're just like, you don't even know where you are, and you're not going to get up and go to class. Like, I missed a shit ton of them. And then Corona happened, so like, no one had track of anything what was going on. classes
Exactly.
classes were online, and as well, I had surgery at the same time. And the fun fact about this class was that you literally cannot take the exam unless you attended classes. I barely attended 2 or 3 classes, and like, surgery saved my ass. Like, and I passed
Yeah.
everything, and I barely even studied for it. I mean, it was like a 1 week of studying, like, very hard, and everyone was like focused on recovering from surgery. I was like, no, I need to get this shit done so I can go back to my country. And I also stayed longer in Portugal because of surgery. So after going through a lot of bad voodoo shit, I'm really grateful for Corona in that sense, because like, I literally got to see Portugal a lot more. Okay, like, I didn't go to some destinations because my friends went earlier, but as a solo traveler, for me, like, Corona was like, bam, awesome, great.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that the point of life and the point of law of attraction is how do you see yourself and the vision of
Exactly.
yourself or the vision of your path of your life. You cannot say, let's say, I'm a sad person or something like that, or I don't have luck. You create the luck, you create the happiness, you create everything. And when you're sending the positive thoughts and the positive vibes to the universe, the yes, the bad things will happen, yes, but they will happen for a reason.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Definitely. I completely agree. And maybe on the other hand, that's basically like the negative thing of like the law of attraction, because you're like, oh my God, I want this. And the universe, like, bam, bitch, there you go. And you're like, but this is not how I want it. This is not exactly what I wanted. And the universe,
Yeah.
like, sorry, bitch, no take backs. You get what you want.
Yeah. Definitely, definitely.
Do you have a story
And
like that has happened to you?
well, I cannot think of it, but I remember the feeling that when I wanted really, really, really bad, the
Mm-hmm.
universe was like, okay, here you go. But I'm gonna make you feel that this is the not right thing for you. And you're gonna give up or go to the end and learn a really, really, really big lesson from all this.
Yep. For me, the lesson was, just because you want a boyfriend doesn't mean you get to have, like, doesn't mean that you should have one.
Yes.
Like, this is definitely one of the most interesting stories. So I was in a point where, like, I was like, universe, I am getting desperate. I want a boyfriend. I want trouble. I want everything. And the universe was like, sure, here. There's a boyfriend. You wanted one. Like, 1 week later, I got a boyfriend, and oh my God. Like, that is probably the worst story of my life, because I honestly ruined that guy's life for a while. Like, I really did. And if there's one thing that I honestly, honestly regret in my life, is that decision to break up with him the way I did, because I broke up with him with the words, not that it's summer, but it's summer. Meaning, I will not cheat on you, but I almost cheated on you. Because like that's how I knew I had to break up with him, because I really, really wanted to cheat. And given my moral stances and the way I look at life, I was like, I'm not gonna cheat, but I need to break up tonight. And that was after 3 weeks of dating. 3 weeks.
Girl.
That was really bitchy. That was really bitchy. Guys who are listening to this show, I apologize to everyone. I am so, so, so sorry that I was such a big bitch. But I thought I wanted a boyfriend. I thought I needed it, but like, it has to be the right person. And it cannot be just a random person on the street. It does not work like that.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna get some sooner or later.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you like? Have you read something on law of attraction? Have you watched something? Is there something that has specifically had like value to you?
Well, how to say? I believe in law of attraction since I was a kid, but I didn't know that that is law of attraction
Hmm.
until my grandma introduced me to this wall world. And she gave me the books Secrets, Magic, and I don't know the English translation
Say it
for
in
the other
Macedonian.
two. And I started to read them. I'm
Mhm.
really new in this all wall of attraction, and maybe for some of who's listening right now or watching right now, and he or she is really into and deeper in these things, maybe for them I'm like just talking bullshit, or I don't know, but this is my point of view. And maybe this is not the right thing. Maybe I'm gonna change my mind like 3 months later or a year later. But right now I'm still learning and I'm still exploring, but I believe in what I read, and I try to manifest things. And also, I don't know, I watch videos, random videos on YouTube,
Mhm.
how to manifest, ways to manifest what you want, what you wish.
What have you learned from those? Like, can you pinpoint to a specific video, like something that has had like a bigger effect on you?
Well, I heard in one video that if you really want something,
Hmm.
there is some ways. For example, before going to sleep, um, while you're going asleep, you know, the phase,
Yeah.
you're just thinking about what you want from life or to happen during the next day or during the next period.
Hmm.
And you're just thinking about it and you're like living the thoughts, and like you're understanding the vibration to the
Hmm.
universe. And if you really want it, probably, and if you work on that, you
Yeah.
cannot accept if you're not working that that will happen.
Hey, I want $1 billion by tomorrow.
Yeah, but I won't buy a lotto because lotto is one of the chances to be a billionaire or millionaire or get an education or get to work.
Yeah.
And the other thing is to write down like the thing that you want 3 times. 3 times you write down why do you want that thing. 3 times you write down, for example, I want these things. I want this thing. I want this thing to happen because, and I want this thing to happen until that time frame.
Hmm.
And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I trust the universe and all like the energy, because I believe that on this what I'm working, the best things will happen to me. And probably sometimes, you're like, okay, this won't happening to you because of the bigger things that are
Yeah,
coming to your life.
exactly.
Oh my
Um,
God, this was so deep.
yeah, we get deep, we get shallow, we get everything on this show. Like we're everything. Um,
And that's why I love this podcast.
oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You hear that, guys? I have a fan. Woo! One. Yeah, but like, what is the one thing that has happened to you positively by law of attraction? Like, tell me one example where actually manifestation has worked for you.
Yeah, this is the one of the most craziest stories. So I was in yes, I was the first year of university, and it was my first exams, not the
Mm-hmm.
midterm, but the final exams.
Yeah.
And I was so desperate for traveling. I was like, okay, I want to go to Amsterdam. I don't know how it popped in my mind, but I was thinking, okay, I want to go to Amsterdam. And that's it. Like,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
And later, a couple of months later, I saw the application for Erasmus short-term project
Mm-hmm.
in Netherlands, and I forgot about the Amsterdam thing. But when I saw it, I was like, "Oh my God, the chance that I'm gonna go to Amsterdam because I don't have money. I'm a student, and I know that the traveling is really expensive."
Yeah.
And I applied, and again, I forgot about Amsterdam because of my studies and studying days and this
Mm-hmm.
process. And when I was going to one of my final exams, so 6 months later, I'm attending to the exam and my phone like is vibrating. I'm opening and I'm just reading, congratulations, you're one of the 5 chosen participants that are going to go to Netherlands. And I was like, what?
Oh my
And
God.
and yeah, this organization I didn't have connection because sometimes we are living in Macedonia, connection works
Yeah.
everything and all that stuff. And I didn't know the organization. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know the boss or how to say on the NGO.
Yeah.
I was randomly chosen one of the 5 participants in Macedonia, not in that city, but in Macedonia. And I was like,
Wow.
okay, mind blowing. And yeah, I went to Amsterdam.
Nice.
It was such a great experience for me. And
Aw.
yes, I think one of the reasons that I believe even more in law of attraction is because of this story. And also the same year, I had a boyfriend and I was talking to him that I really want to go to beach, but beach with a sand, not
Mm-hmm.
with
Rocks.
stones,
Yeah.
yeah, and rocks. And he was like, okay, you're just want to travel somewhere, blah, 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 the cliche thing about traveling. And I was like, yes, I want to go specifically in Greece. I haven't go in Greece in years. And he started to laugh and he was like, okay, you're gonna go. 2 hours later, I saw again on the Facebook page, again, another Erasmus project in Greece, on the beach, on the sand. And I was like, okay, this cannot happen just to me. And applied, and uh, the leader of the organization said like, okay, you were super quick, so if you're 100% sure that you're free and available on the time, I'm gonna take you. And I was like, yes, definitely, please, I really want to go.
Oh my God.
That's another story. Yeah.
Nice, dude. That is awesome. Like for me, like one of the best things that has ever happened was I literally wrote on in my journal. I was so desperate to find a mentor this summer because like for those of you who don't know, I am like always between gigs. Like I do one thing, then I do another thing, then I do a third thing, then I do a fourth thing. Like I do so much stuff. And nothing of that, like everything is bringing me a little bit of income, but like it's not stable. Nothing is fixed. And I was like, I want to be a writer. I want to be a journalist. I want to work in marketing. I want to work in crisis communication and like all of this, like things. And I was like, okay, I need a mentor so I can actually, focus on my goals and do this. And I was like, where the hell am I going to find a mentor? Like it's the middle of summer. I'm not going to be able to find one. And so like I just wrote it on my page and I was like, I'm going to find a mentor. 1 week later, talking about this podcast, like in the podcast groups, I was like, I need help on like how to monetize my podcast, and I want it to be about entrepreneurship and helping people and like all of that stuff. And this random Indian guy from the middle of nowhere just texted me and he's like, I want you to be a guest on my show. And I'm like, okay. And we started talking and he's like, I want, like, let's have a video chat so I can, see the energy the way you and I did it like earlier. And so like we're talking and like we're doing dabs and we're like laughing and it's like vibes. And he became my mentor like immediately. 1 month later, from the middle of nowhere, this guy offers me a job and I'm like, okay, scam. Like it's definitely a scam. Like a random Indian guy on the internet offers you a job. Like what are the odds of that, and
Exactly.
right. And like he sent me the contract and I looked it over, gave it to my friends, gave it to my family, gave it to a friend who actually studied business law at the time, and everything like was very freaking legit. And I was like, okay, this is some weird law of attraction shit.
Definitely.
And here
I'm
we
really
are.
glad.
Yeah, and like 3 months later, we're working together, we're still laughing, we're making money. I mean, we still haven't made the money yet, but the money is coming, like manifesting and law of attraction and all of those things. And the one thing that I learned is like you can always expect the universe to give you what you want. And if that doesn't happen or something else happens, is because that is just the way that things need to be. And the way you said it, like it's definitely the bigger picture. Like that is something that's very, very important.
Yes, and I think uh like everyone wants something, yes,
Yeah,
but you cannot force that. If you're forcing
exactly.
something, that probably will happen, but with the bad end. If
I
you're
don't.
not forcing something, yeah.
There is this Macedonian joke. If you try to force something to come out of your body, it's going to be shit. If you're trying to fart, it's going to be shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so anyways, let's do a little recap of everything we talked about. So the first thing that we definitely mentioned was that law of attraction can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing, because like you have um uh, like not everything should happen to you, and sometimes just because you want it doesn't mean you should actually have it. What
Yeah.
was the second thing that we talked about? Like my memory is like very vague.
Well, how the law of attraction manifests in our life.
Yeah, that was
The
important.
story.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
actually you actually gave out some really good advices, like to write things down and to try and think about things before you go to bed. I would just add one more thing there, like visualization. For me, for example, actually I heard this from Dan Locke. You should definitely see him. You're going to love him. He's like a really, really famous entrepreneur. Actually, Maya, our mutual friend, told me about him, and he was like, I really wanted a better car than the one I have. So every single minute, the way I was working towards it, I was imagining that car, I was imagining the seats, I was imagining it, driving it. Like I knew the price, I knew everything about there is to know about that car. And when he finally bought it, the salesman said, I've never finished a sale faster ever in my life. And he said, like, while I was driving it, it wasn't like there wasn't like a new experience for him. It was something he already lived through. And like every single time he would be in the street, he would be like, oh, that's my car. Like the minute he would see a car like that, and his friends were like, are you crazy? That's not your car. And he's like, nope, that's my car. And that is definitely something, like when he got it, he actually felt like he owned the car. So for me, visualization is definitely something important. So I try to visualize myself with my clients sitting on a table, handshaking and like signing contracts and making that money, baby.
That's it.
Yeah. So Nadica, where can people find you if they want to find you?
Well, they can find me on Instagram. I'm at Pujevska,
Yeah.
or on Facebook, Nadica Pujevska. That's my social media platform.
Awesome. Awesome. So, guys, that's it for this episode. Nadica, thank you for taking the time and talking to me about law of attraction. I hope we gave a lot of value, and I hope you had a good time coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Actually, it was my pleasure to be the chosen one to be a guest on this
Likewise,
podcast.
girl.
I had like
Likewise.
really amazing, really amazing time. And
Awesome.
yeah, I really hope so that we're gonna do 6 months from now another episode of Law of Attraction Part
Yeah.
2 to see
Yeah,
what
to
we
see what
manifest.
actually manifested. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So guys, if you like this episode, let us know in the comments how maybe law of attraction worked for you. Like, did it fuck up your life? Did it make it better? How did it make it better? Share this episode with your friends. Share the ways to manifest law of attraction. And I hope all of you have all the money, all the prosperity in times of corona. I hope that everyone that you love and you care about is healthy, happy, and satisfied. These are really hard and troubling times, but as you know, science is going to do its thing once again. And this is it for this week's episode. Catch us in the next one. Bye.
Bye.